All right, Q crew, we are back with part two. If you did not watch part one, please do so. It was posted yesterday. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Remember to comment, like, subscribe, and let's get into it.
It does make me sad, like for that men are putting women through that, definitely. But like, as the man that's doing it, doesn't make me sad. It makes me like, it, I'm disappointed. That's the feeling I get listening to that. I'm like, damn, like man, we got a lot of growing up to do. You know what I mean? But I know most men are going to hear that and they're going to be like, oh, not all men and not me, and da, 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 da. And like, but it's probably you, bro. Like you're not like men have to get out of this mindset that we are like God's gift to women, and it's really not that. It's like the opposite, to be honest with you, at this point.
The happiest people are single women and married men. They're the two happiest groups of people always.
Single women
and married men
are the happiest.
Are the happiest groups of people. Like not married women. Married women like end up doing all the jobs, and married women aren't happier than single women. Single women are happier than married women, and married men are really happy because they get everything done for them.
She ain't lying, and that's exactly why, in this day and age, men are way more interested in marriage than women are. That's exactly why it is right there. Men are happier in marriages and women are not. Women are less happy the closer that they are to men. That's just the reality. And last but not least, I saved this one for because this story is great. This is gonna wrap everything up perfectly in a bow. Listen to how this woman breaks down her last relationship and why she left it. It's gonna tie everything like together perfectly. Exactly why women are just like, I'm good. Like, I'm good. This doesn't, like, there's no need for me to even try anymore. She's not going to not try, but I'm saying, like, with that person, there's no need for me to keep trying. Like, this is crazy.
I was in a relationship with a guy for about 48 hours, and then I decided to break up with him because he got us tickets to go see a Commanders game. And on the way to the stadium, he turned to me and said, by the way, this is your Christmas gift. And I don't.
That is that. I've said it before. It's that video of, or that it's that clip from The Simpsons when Homer bought Marge the bowling ball. If you guys remember that.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy 34th birthday, Mrs. Homer Simpson. Happy birthday to you. Don't worry, this frosting will come right off. Beauty, isn't she?
Well, it's hard for me to judge, since I've never bowled in my life.
Well, if you don't want it, I know someone who does.
I don't like sports. So suddenly I felt very conflicting emotions. I felt very grateful and appreciative that he had planned this wonderful date for us, which represented a new experience that I wouldn't have sought out on my own, while simultaneously feeling disappointed that my Christmas gift, the first one I would receive from my new boyfriend, was something that did not reflect any genuine interest that I had. Okay. I looked into my future and I saw myself receiving an egg apron for my birthday when all I wanted to do was go to Greece. Now you might see this and think to yourself, well, Caitlin, he was probably just joking. No, I don't think he was. And here's why I don't think he was joking. On our second date, he turned to me and said, hey, let's play a game. I'm thinking, he's not going to make me pay for this date. He booked us the reservation at this nice place. However, he kept emphasizing, hey, don't worry. I'm not going to order any drinks at the restaurant because I don't want to rack up the bill. So I kind of began to realize, oh, I'm paying for this. Then when the check did come, I did pay for it. I did drop over $300 on a date with this guy. He was serious. So that leads me to believe that he was serious when he said that Commanders game, that was my Christmas gift.
Brokey. He was a brokey. That's why he did that.
Why? That was the second date and you went to a place that was for $300 and you continued to go on the third one? See, me as a millennial don't comprehend the way of dating now because that just is absurd to me. There is no reason why I should be spending hundreds of dollars on the first, second, and third dates. Those type of dates that's in the hundreds is only going to be for special occasions like your birthday or for some type of event or holiday. Like, there's no reason to be spending that goddamn much unless it's the anniversary. That blows my mind. And if we just met and your birthday's around the corner, don't expect something lavish like that. We just met. I don't expect it from you. And I'm not paying for the date. About men that pay for the date. And as our relationship gets established, then we can go back and forth with, who pays for the date. But in the beginning stages, no, that's not how we court. It's not how you court. Let's just be for real. And nothing has to be extravagant or costly most of the goddamn time. You're only trying to get to know each other. That doesn't cost that much money. And I'm not talking about a McDonald's date on your first date. That's not a date. If teenagers can properly court, why in the heck can a grown man can't? It's common sense. Let's be for real.
That's why he did that. That was one reason. Also, to me, when I hear that, it just sounds like he was seeing like what he could like get away with. He was like testing her, like, oh, she's stupid, or I can manipulate her, she's malleable, whatever it was, right? That's what it seems like.
And it's confusing to be in that situation because the seats he got us at the game were really good. It was a fun day. I was extremely appreciative that he had went through the effort and spent the money to give me that experience, but it painted it in a very different light, finding out that it was my Christmas gift because it was like, oh, he saw this, thought it would be a cool thing to do, and then tried to figure out how he could justify the expense to himself and said, Christmas gift.
And here's the thing. This is what I'm saying. I don't know how much money this dude's make. This guy makes. She's gonna talk about it later on, but I don't know how much money she makes or he makes. But the point is that when the women talk about getting with men,
for any men that's watching this, I am aware that going to a game costs hundreds of dollars. Still doesn't suffice.
Who have a lot of money, or I'm sorry, when men talk about the fact that women want men with a lot of money, a instant pushback that I have to that is, I don't think that that's the case because you can have all the money in the world. But are you generous? Or are you Derek Jeter? Are you like making gift baskets, and you know what I'm saying? Like after you sleep with them, you just make them a gift basket and then you drop them off at their apartment or their house or whatever. Like you're not really generous. Like men aren't, there's a lot of men who aren't generous. This dude isn't generous. Also, you can be generous and not be considerate, right? Like you could buy your woman.
Like put yourself in her shoes. A lot of men never will accept the same type of treatment that they do to women. If a woman took you to a ballet concert and you're just going there for her and she spent hundreds of dollars for the ticket or theater or whatever the case may be, this is something of her interest and she said this is your birthday gift, by the way, or this is your Christmas gift, how would you feel? You feel robbed. You'll feel like that's messed up. You would protest to that. But a woman can't. That is the type of delusion that a lot of men accept women to accept. And it's not cool. It's not okay. That's a no. Let's find a man that will. There's a lot of them that are mature. I know men and women say, oh, that's not all men. Stop acting like that's the majority. Not all of it is a social media experience.
Buy your woman a bunch of stuff that she doesn't want. So you're not really being considerate. You're generous, but then you're not considerate. So it has to be all encompassing. You know what I mean? Like for it to be effective. That's the thing. And men we're not like processing any of this properly. We're pivoting or we're deflecting to like women just want men with money or, whatever the case may be. And it's like, no, it's not what it is. That's why you hear women say, I'll take a generous man over a man with money any day. Right? Like just so like a man with money, I don't know if he's generous or not, or I know a man that's generous with his money. I'll take the generous man. Right?
That's how, despite the fact this wouldn't make sense for me as a Christmas gift if it was just a standalone thing. I really liked this guy. I could see myself falling for him. I felt behind him and would let the door close in my face. Now I did flag that for him. I said, hey, I really feel invisible when you do that. That's a really bad feeling. I don't like that. Could you please make sure you hold the door open for me in those moments? And he fixed it. But
I remember recently talking about, like chivalry or whatever. I don't consider that to be chivalrous. I'm sure it is by definition, I guess to some extent, but like, I was saying chivalry is stupid, right? To be honest with you, it is dumb. But that doesn't replace chivalry with human decency. Because
the definition, just like you said, the definition of chivalry is what it is. Open the doors, taking the chair out from underneath someone. It's just a vocabulary word to sum it up in one word. That's it. That part I disagree on. It's just a word that's just sum it all together. But just like he's getting into having human dignity is also a thing. Like the values, the more like, you know what I'm saying? Like they have to align. And what she was saying in her video about him closing the door on her, and she had to explain, And she said, I can see myself following him. That's the concerning part. He's already showed characteristics and character and morals that don't align with yours. Like, you already had to explain to him how rude that was to close the door in your face. You know how many times you're going to have to keep doing that with him? Because that's not going to be the only read and only time you're going to have to sit up here and tell him to be considerate of you and your feelings. That's not going to be a one-time occurrence because you've already explained 3 so far. You're going to have to continue to keep doing that in hopes that he'll continue to be considerate of your feelings every time you present it to him. And most men do not, because they'll start to feel like you're being unreasonable or you're nagging. So no, it's not worth continuing to be with him, regardless of the other things that you said that you may like about him. He's not a person that is worth falling for because he's not going to be good for you. You think it's something small, but these small little things, little gestures, turn to something big.
Because why the fuck are you letting the door close on anybody that's walking right behind you? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if you're his woman or if you're a 300-pound bodybuilder dude walking by. It doesn't matter. Keep the damn door. Hey man, here you go. Like, just push it open wide, like something. Don't fucking just let the door close in a person's face. That is just a total you're just totally disregarding like the people that are coming behind you. Like, you just don't give a fuck about people at all. It's little stuff like that would paint a larger picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I'm not really down for the like performance of chivalry, but like I said, as long as you're like doing bare minimum shit, like not letting doors close in people's faces, perfectly fine.
The number of crucial conversations that I would have to have with someone who I had really only known for about 2.5 weeks, we moved way too quickly, felt disproportionate. It just was like, I don't know if I need this. I don't know if it's worth it for me to go through the effort to explain the nuances at the level of effort it would take to get this person to care about you. Like, they might not ever be.
Also, you're like, you're just like at the point to where you're just like, they should already be there. There are certain markers that you're expecting people to have already hit if they're at a certain time, certain age or whatever in their life, right? But also, what she said goes back to our original point, how the older women were like, yeah, I don't like, it's hard for me to find a man. This is why, because this dude that she's talking about is 40 fucking years old. It's not that the problem isn't that women hit the wall, right? The problem is men never hit it. Men never get.
Yes, I said that men are stagnant. They are not. Women are maturing and men are not. They don't have the growth where they need to be at. Now, I understand that maturity is not an age. I've always known that since 18. Very, very much comprehended that. I'm not going to tell you my revelations and that. I want to get into that a little bit of story time. But that's around the time where I understood. And my thing is that society and a lot of people out here do not hold men accountable to a certain standard. They always hold the women accountable to mature in a certain way, but they don't do it for men consistently. And men have, molded into that of not meeting to that expectation. For what? They don't have a reason to, because the woman's going to always fill in those holes for them. This is what the world has set up for men to not continue to grow and mature in these certain areas. And she said it. He will not be considerate of her feelings for other times and moments throughout the relationship. And just like he's about to say, like, women didn't hit the wall. Men have not gotten to that point. Like, also what I was going to say is that, when you get to a certain age, like every 10 years, there is a certain level of maturity that you're going to have. And as I have realized as I am about to hit 40, that I'm able to pinpoint people's ages. It's kind of weird to me that I'm just able to pinpoint it so easily. That makes me feel weird about, ever since I was in my early 20s, even before then, all of my friends and all the people that really all of my good friends were always much older than me, 5 years plus older than me. And I just always know, because I've been very mature from an age. So I've always brushed it off. No, I never thought any uppity or anything of myself. When I came around to my early 30s, I'm like, oh, my peers are finally getting to that point of where I am at. But a lot of them didn't. And I was like, huh. And it was always in the male spectrum. And I was just wondering what's up with that. And as I got older, I started to understand why people grew apart. It always was in the maturity area. And that's why some people that were high school sweethearts got married and had children and everything. A lot of them broke up because the maturity level didn't continue. They didn't grow together like you're supposed to in a relationship. You never get comfortable in a relationship. You're supposed to continue to grow and learn from each other, because as you grow and learn, you're getting older. And a lot of the men don't want to grow and get older and learn. So the women are, but the men are not. And people just continue to keep brushing it off or saying, oh, that's not all men. It's a good majority. I don't care what you say. I see it all the time. And not just here in my area, but all over. Women are complaining about the same exact things. Men are still doing the same toxic things. Like when you get to certain milestones in life, you can tell like when someone's 18. You can tell when they speak and how they talk. You can tell when someone's in their early 20s. It's how like you get to a certain maturity and level, like, oh, I went through that during that age as well. I see where you're at. Oh, you're in your early 30s, aren't you? I can tell by just listening to someone speak about what age bracket you're at. Oh, you must be in your 40s. People have never been able to pinpoint my age. When they hear me speak, they're like, oh, what is your age? Because I don't look my age. I hope I still don't. I think I'm starting to see it in there. But anywho, it's kind of concerning. In a lot of my community, I see that dynamic in. Some platforms on social media give me more hope. Because there is some mature men out there. I'm like, ooh, that's where the heck y'all at. Because, ooh, child. But yeah, I always knew there was mature men out there. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's just an overwhelming amount of toxic ones out here. We're gonna finish up. I don't know. Are we finishing up this video? I guess we are. This clip lasted longer than I thought on this last one that he's speaking on. But I'm going to try to finish off this part right here and get on to the next video I need to react to.
And I mean that, and I don't mean it in the way that people talk about the wall, but men never actually reach their full potential, right? For them to ever descend. Like we can never descend because we never get to this place to where it's like now it's all downhill. It's not like that. It's always uphill for us. Our life is always uphill. We never reach the wall, man. Like if women hit the wall, fine. That just means they've actually just realized their full potential, right? And then you're saying like from here on out, it's all downhill. Fine. Men never reach the fucking wall. We need to hit the wall. About men that is totally whack because in one breath, men are like, we hate boss babes. She's a proverbial boss babe, quote unquote, right? We hate boss babes. But then on the flip side, y'all don't have enough money to take care of women. So like, what the fuck? You just don't want the thing that they hate about boss babes ain't the money that they make. It's the fact that they won't let men walk all over them. That's the problem.
To be a provider, not just I am on the metro to a football stadium that, hey, by the way, this is your Christmas gift. When you don't know the person that well, but you know them well enough to know that I'm obviously not a sports fan.
Oh man, she was clocking a lot of shit. It's just taking a while for her to put all the pieces together. She was going to end up in an abusive relationship with this. Like this dude was going to abuse her for sure.
I was falling in love with him, but I just don't think he is. I felt frequently a lot of inner conflict or tension, and it hadn't been long enough for me to.
There you have it. That sounds like pretty, all that stuff makes sense. If you follow it from beginning to end, you can actually get a clear picture of some of the bigger problems that women are, needing to be addressed, right? Like men need to address these issues, but it's just such a disconnect, right? If you listen to the beginning of the video to now, you heard what the men were saying, talking about women want a BBL, all that. Like you could just tell the men are just grasping at straws, trying to discombobulate women and throw women off, right? Also, they don't have to actually confront these types of issues, right? Like men don't want to have to confront these demons that reside in us. That's all it is. So we're saying, oh, well, women they just got unrealistic standards. They just got like that's how we're doing it, right? Like they just want to run up their body count. They got BBLs and then like listen to the men. Like every single time when I do these videos, I promise y'all, if you listen to what the men are saying versus what the women are saying, it is not comparable. The women are so insightful. And it's so very direct. Like if I were a single man and I was interested in dating a woman, I would literally just listen to what these women were saying. I would just literally listen to what all these women are saying, like listen to what they're saying. And then I would work on it. I would just work on those things. It would be like playing a sport. If I play wide receiver, I would just listen to what my coaches were saying were my weaknesses. And then I would just develop my weak. Like they would just be like, yeah, you got to get better with your feet and you got to get better with your hands and you got to get out of your brace faster. Bet. And I would just go fucking watch film and I would go train my ass off. And that's where, and I would improve in those areas. Like this shit's not fucking hard. Y'all got to.
Yes, it is not hard. Like it is very like so annoying. Like I said, like women are asking for the basics. And men keep on gaslighting and making excuses after excuses after excuses to what the issue is. Like you said, I guess to throw us off. They may listen to what we want or need and just love bomb that. And then once they get you, they go and do wrong or go back to their toxic ways. So it's just like a ever ending messed up cycle instead of just doing the basics, being a decent human being and actually being a good partner. But yeah, just like on the Simpsons cartoon, like they have made fun of it all the time on Al Bundy, um, so many cartoons. I've always did the little meme with SpongeBob about how the women are doing everything and the dad's not doing nothing. But it's draining, and I always been like the longer and longer I am single, the more and more I know myself. I always think about myself. The longer I am single, the more and more I don't care for anyone to be in my space or to be around me. And that's one thing I was like concerned about. I was like, the more and more I'm alone, the more and more I'll be less wanting to coincide with somebody else to deal with another relationship because of all the things it entails. But honestly, as I've always known, it's not that difficult with the right person. It really isn't. But dating is be low key, you're playing a dangerous game. It should not be like that. It's crazy. And these men will be so confused about why they are not they're not it. Like like I said, women were very straight, women be very articulating what the issue is, and they continue to go right over their head. Or they don't care, they give other excuses. It's like, did you not hear a dang word I just said? Anywho, and as you can see, this man is married, and he is saying the same thing that I have already said before. These men have to be better. Period. I don't care what you say. I know the younger men may not all be corrupted. A lot of the ones that's in their 30s don't seem to be like that. But I guess the women in the 30s are probably staying now. In the early 30s. I don't know. The ones I'm running to, the healthy ones, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. And then another thing is like men with the misogyny thing. They only see value in women unless they are able to conceive children. That's another thing that I keep seeing as well. And a lot of women don't even care to conceive children because they don't see any good candidate of men to want to have children with. Because I have found a guy on social media, he was a younger guy, probably in his 20s, and he said that, yeah, he was definitely in his 20s for a fact. And he was saying that, see, you ladies don't know what a man wants. We know what you want. The issue is that you don't care what a woman wants. You only are selfishly thinking about yourself. I digress from here. I could keep going, but I got other videos to get to. And I got editing to do. Remember, you guys, you are beautifully, wonderfully made. Only you can make that change. Thanks for watching, and subscribe. I see you guys on the next video. Just that.